Hey everyone, welcome back. You get to see my face twice in a day. Oh my goodness, what is that craziness? Hello everyone. Thanks again for hanging out with us on a Monday evening. I am here with the lovely Josh Robinson, who you have seen many times at Elm Street, but you get to see him in a different way this go around in the fall. Josh is going to be our director for our upcoming production of the musical Dogfight. So, yay!
Yay!
Josh,
Very excited.
welcome. Let's just jump right into this thing. All right. So, um, like we're gonna be. This is a live interview with Josh right now. So, if you have any questions or anything like that that pop up during the interview, please feel free to throw them in the comments. I'll try my best to kind of navigate between focusing on Josh and then going back to the comments as well. Give me 1 second so I can at least say that I'm starting to look at the comments before we get started. But yeah, Josh, why don't you get started by telling us a little bit about yourself?
Sure. My name's Josh Robinson. I was born in Fairmount, Georgia, population 792. Um, Grew up in that area, went to high school, went to college at Reinhardt University, got a degree in theater. Um, I wanted it to be a music theater, but I didn't want to take the dance classes. So I just took the theater classes and I took voice lessons. I graduated from there, moved to Woodstock in 2016. And in the past couple of years, I've started my own business, Lights Up Entertainment. We do trivia, karaoke, bingo, anything like that in restaurants, bars, breweries. So when we get out of this, if you need some entertainment in your venue, let me know.
So, Josh, is theater something that you always knew you wanted to do, or what got you started?
I was actually so I like wrestled and I was a football player in like middle school and most of high school, and then it was just one of those things where they needed somebody in a certain part of the musical in the 10th grade, and I went and I did it, and I was like, this is what I want to do now.
And
So
the rest
I
is
joined
history.
chorus the next semester, the whole 9 yards. It's been like that ever since 10th grade.
Nice. And so you mentioned trivia. What got you into that? Like, are you a big history person?
I was basically looking for a way to make money in a form that I enjoyed, and performing and hosting things. If I could do anything in the entire world, it would be to host one of the like night shows, like the Tonight Show or David Letterman or something like that. So I've always been really into hosting. So I just found a company that was doing that. I started working under them, and I loved it. And I was like, I think I can do this better. So I took it, I spun it my own way, and that's where we got to where we are today.
Well, awesome. Yeah, you have probably seen Josh hanging out all around Reformation, both in Woodstock and in Canton as well. Have you done?
And Smyrna.
I was yeah, and you've done trivia at Smyrna too. Very
Yep,
cool.
yep, yep.
And you do it on a variety of topics. So you have to keep yourself like very well versed and well knowledged in a
Right.
bunch of different areas. What's the most challenging part of that?
The worst part, it's honestly not even the different topics. It's when we get into the niches, like the themes. So, like for instance, we do Parks and Rec trivia. I've never seen Parks and Rec in my life. That's what they want me to do. So then I've got to educate myself on a topic I know nothing about. So that's definitely the toughest ones.
Awesome. Well, you know what? I was gonna save it until the end, but I think since we're on the topic, we're just gonna jump right into it. Give you
Okay.
all something fun to watch as well. So one thing that you may not know about Josh is he is a huge Reba McEntire fan, and over the course of the past month, he has converted me into a very big Reba fan myself. So thank you in advance
You're
for
welcome.
doing that. So I thought it would be fun if I asked you a couple of Reba trivia questions. but that are a little bit more specific to her Broadway debut when she played the role of Annie Oakley in Annie Get Your Gun.
Okay.
I'm just gonna kind of jump right into it, and so some are gonna be multiple choice, some are not, and we're just gonna kind of see what happens. Okay.
Let's jump in. Let's go. I'm excited.
All right. So the production that Reba was a part of was the 1999 Broadway revival with Bernadette Peters, which they recorded. They did a cast recording of Bernadette Peters' version. However, when Reba took over the role, it was such a huge success that they contemplated re-recording the whole studio album with Reba singing all the songs, but unfortunately, with money and everything like that, they couldn't make it work. But she did end up going into the studio and doing 2 studio recordings of 2 songs. Do you know what those 2 songs are?
Is it Lost in His Arms? Is that one of them?
Yes, that's one of them. All right.
And Got No Diamonds, Got No Pearls. Sun in the Morning, the Moon at Night?
Oh, I'm so sorry. It was Can't Get a Man with a Gun.
Can't Get a Man with a Gun. I should have knew. All right.
So yeah, those are the 2 songs that she recorded for that production. They also had talked about doing like when NBC does like the live musicals, they had talked about like actually recording that and doing it as like a live TV production. But
I would love nothing more.
Years.
Yeah.
Cool. So all right, I'm gonna give you half a point for that. Let me just break it down and see what see what we total up to at the end of this. All right. So Reba was not the replacement of Bernadette, but the replacement of a replacement of Bernadette. I'm not going to ask you that, but I am going to ask who replaced Reba, and this is a multiple choice, so I do give you a couple different options to pick.
All right.
Okay? So your options are Patti LuPone, Andrea McArdle, Crystal Bernard, and Lorna Luft.
Who was the second person you said?
Andrea McArdle, OG Annie.
I want to say C.
Crystal Bernard, yes, that is her.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did not know that. Doing some more research, I found out that she played Annie in the tour of the show that was happening at the time. And so when Reba left after about like 9-ish months, that's when she came on.
So on the same topic, it's kind of funny. One of the things that really got me into theater, also, like the thing that made me go, I like musicals, was there was this thing called CMT Giants on CMT, and it's a show where they basically pay tribute to a big country star, and they did one with Reba, and Megan Mullally sang "Can't Get a Man with a Gun" on that, and I was like, this is really cool.
Well, all right, so you got half of the point for the next question that I was going to ask you.
Oh. Yes.
Not planned at all. Yeah, going on that topic, so Reba has been recognized, obviously, many different times for her work as a country artist, but specifically, there were 2 times where she was recognized for her work on Broadway for Get Your Gun, one of which was the CMT Giants. And do you know who the other one was?
Oh, I totally know. I totally know.
Then what was it? You got to get that full point.
All right, so Kristen Chenoweth sang, doing What Comes Naturally on the Kennedy Center Honors.
Kennedy, yes, because it was also the same year that Cher was nominated for recognized. Yeah. So our 2 worlds colliding in one night. I love it. Okay, so you've got a point there for that. I got one more question.
All right.
This one's a multiple choice, okay?
Okay.
So, Reba has also ventured into different classic musicals. There is one in particular that she did a few years after doing Annie Get Your Gun, but maybe in a different way than your traditional staged version.
Yeah.
So what classic musical was that? And here are your options.
I don't need it.
All right. I'll let you do it
I'm
then.
assuming you're talking about the concert version of South Pacific.
Yes. You got it. Ding, 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 ding.
Ding, 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 ding.
Beautiful. Well, in case you were wondering, the other options that I had were Hello Dolly, which she would make a great
She would kill Dolly. I've said that.
Unsinkable Molly Brown, which I've heard on internet threads she should also do that role.
Yeah.
And then I also had Peter Pan, which I feel like she would be a really interesting Peter Pan as well.
Yeah, I can see that. That'd be fun.
Awesome. So you've got a total of 3.5 points out of a possible 4. So congratulations, Josh. I don't have a prize for you, but just knowing that you know all of this Reba trivia, and yeah, just applause for you.
We won!
Yay!
Yay! Cool.
All right, so let's jump into asking you some more questions. So we talked a little bit about what got you into theater. Can you talk a little bit more about some of your theatrical experiences, maybe some other things or projects that we have seen, either you be a part of on stage or maybe off stage?
Sure. So I got my start in a show called Lil Abner at Sonoraville High School, playing the incomparable role of Earthquake Magoon. Eventually, I went to college. In college, I was in, 10 or 12 shows. And then that's where I got my first directing gig. I did a show called Marvin's Room. It's a play. It's the most beautiful play I've ever read in my whole life. Elm Street should do it. Anyway. And then after that, I moved to Woodstock. I've done at least 6 or 7 shows at Elm Street, including Guys and Dolls, Bright Star, Annie Get Your Gun, Laughter on the 23rd Floor, and I directed America Bridge last summer.
Yes, which was a great production, and just patriotic and just really silly. So yeah, we loved having you be a part of that last year, as well as your other shows that you mentioned, including A Christmas Carol, time and time again.
A Christmas Carol twice.
And with Bright Star, you also were part of the band, because one of the cool things about Bright Star, how it's normally traditionally done, is the band plays on stage, where normally, you have like a pit where they're kind of like off to the side or just kind of like in their own area. But in Bright Star, the band is very, very much a part of the show because of how ingrained the music is into the show. And you played the mandolin, which is very cool.
Ooh.
Now, is that something that you always knew how to play, or did you kind of like pick it up the show, or like how did that?
It's funny. My roommate Kate Johnson, who you also would have seen in Bright Star and Annie Get Your Gun,
Queen.
She did a show at Stage Door a couple of years ago where they had her play mandolin on one song. It was very easy. She already knows how to play guitar. And after playing it, she was like, I really think I like the mandolin. So I bought her one for Christmas, the Christmas before Bright Star. And it hadn't really gotten taken out of its case very much at all. And then Bright Star came around and he was like, who knows how to play instruments? And I went, we own a mandolin. So I picked up a couple of chords and played on a couple songs.
And the rest is history. I think probably my favorite thing is in the opening number, If You Knew My Story, you just kind of walking along with the mandolin, just being like, hey, everyone, welcome. Here we are. So, Josh, let's talk a little bit about Dogfight. For those who may not know the show very well, can you tell us a little bit about kind of just the basic premise without maybe giving too much away? Because we want people to see it.
Yeah, for sure. Well, basically, it takes place on most of it takes place. It's technically kind of a memory play, but the memory mostly takes place on November 21st, 1963. I remember that very well because November the 21st is my birthday. It also happens to be the eve of the day JFK was assassinated, which I think was done purposely. But anyway, it's about these 6 Marines who are getting ready to go off to war in Vietnam. They're leaving the next day. It takes place in San Francisco, and they do something called the Dogfight, which is a real thing. Before I saw the movie, because I saw the movie as a child, I had never heard of this before. But basically, all the guys pitch in, $50, $75, $100, and then they go out on the town and they find the ugliest woman they can, and it's pretty sad. But and then they bring them back, and then they do a little party, and they judge it. Whoever brings the ugliest woman wins all the cash. And then our lead brings in our other lead, Rose, who he believes to be the ugliest, and then it basically turns into a never been kissed sort of situation where he grows to feel empathy and possibly even love for this woman.
Yeah, and I think one of the things to note, particularly about this show, with the way that they pick the girls, that it's not necessarily like complete like physical appearance for a lot of that. It's just these girls who don't fit in with like the conventions
100%.
Of beauty in 1963. So whether that's like a hairstyle or the clothes that they wear, there's something that makes them stand out. Because we're in this time we're like smack dab at like the counterculture now, where you've got like these traditional ideals and then these more counter traditional ideals that are just coming head to head, and so you have that tension there, about those people that are not really conforming one way or the other, which makes them stand out.
Right. Yeah, it's definitely, and it should be. It's never necessarily about the physical thing. It is just like, this is what a typical girl looks like in 1963, and this person is different in one way or another. Yeah.
And ultimately, the show does have a redemptive ending. There is we get to see a little bit of hope, particularly with our lead Birdlake, who goes through this whole transformation. Particularly about how his time in the service really changes him.
Right.
And how he has this whole perspective on things. And on top of that, the music is just so powerful. Like, especially for the women, like they have like some really powerful pieces, which I know I am really excited to get to listen to live. I mean, it's one thing to listen to like the cast recording, but I feel like there's something so special about hearing one of those songs performed live, where you literally just get like goosebumps.
Oh, 100%. Yeah, the music is beautiful. It's Pasek and Paul, same guys who did Greatest Showman and Dear Evan Hansen. I think this was their first time doing an off-Broadway show. I think they may have done Edges before then, but yeah, the music is gorgeous.
Yes. Do you have a favorite song from, or I'll ask you 2 questions, I guess. First one, objectively, do you have a favorite song? Just
probably Isn't It Funny, which is Rose's first big solo number, where she talks about her going to the party with the guy and how everything went wrong, because she eventually figures out what is going on at the Dogfight.
And then the other side of that, is there a song in particular that you're really looking forward to, getting to stage?
Yeah, definitely. All the guys' group numbers are just going to be so energetic and fun. Hometown Heroes, and oh God, what is it? Kate, help me out. some kind of time.
Yes, that is
Yeah.
a bop if I've ever heard one. Like,
Right.
yeah, no, I'm very excited. We've been wanting to do this show for a few years now, so I think this, it's a great time to put on this show, and and tell this story, particularly from the veteran side of things. And Josh, I don't know if you want to talk a little bit about what that's going to look like, and how that's going to kind of really shape your vision.
Sure. Yeah. So it would be very easy to take this show and put the veterans in a bad light because of the beginning of the show, but that's never been the point of the show. At the end of the day, these are like 18 and 19-year-olds who've never had these life experiences. So obviously you have the story arc of the dogfight, him meeting Rose and all that stuff. But particularly, I hate doing this because I'm giving away more than I probably would like to. But eventually, you do see them go to war, and you see how that affects particularly Birdlace, because there's a chance a lot of the other guys don't come back. Yeah, I've got a buddy. He was in Bright Star named Shane. Remember Shane? He was in Bright Star, the doctor. He is an actual Marine. He obviously wasn't in Vietnam because that was way far away. So, but I do plan on bringing him in and getting his opinion, especially on the movements of the soldiers, and maybe getting him to talk about his experience a little bit to really dive into that.
Yeah, no, I think getting a lot of that background, so that way you're able to portray it accurately and honestly, and also a little bit theatrically as well, because you have to have that sort of imagination with it too. I think is important. But I know for us, one of the reasons why we really were drawn to this show, and one of the reasons why we wanted to present it, was because of how it really speaks to veterans and the veteran experience. And I don't know how many shows really portray that. And for Cherokee County, I think it's what the second largest veteran population in the state. So to be able to present a show for that population, right, for that community to come out.
How often do you get them out to something like this?
Exactly, yeah. For them to see their community represented, and to also give them the experience. And I'm sure a lot of them have never come and seen a show before.
Yeah.
And to give them that experience that hey, theater isn't this like big hoity-toity, like fluffy, thought that you might think it is. We're able to still like hit like some really real topics with it as well. You talked a little bit about it, but is there anything in particular that you're really looking forward to with this production? Is there a part that like really resonates with you?
I think particularly the Vietnam scene. That's going to be tough and very fun. That's a weird word to use, but to put together with all those guys that are going to be in the cast. I'm also just excited to see who's going to be in the cast. That's very big, and to hear those voices come together for the first time.
Yeah. Well, so speaking of which, let's segue a little bit and talk about auditions. So we're not doing, typically for auditions, it's a come in kind of process. You sign up for a slot and everything like that. Obviously, that's not the best time to do that right now. So we're doing online auditions. So that gives you like a decent amount of time to put together, an audition video and to be able to submit that right on our website for Dogfight. So I'll just kind of guide you through how to get there if you're watching and interested in auditioning, because you have until the 27th, which is not this coming Monday, but next Monday. So essentially 2 weeks you have. But so you'll go to the website, elmstreetarts.org. And then right at the top where it says theater, if you hover over that, it gives you like a drop-down option with a couple different things. You'll see it says auditions. Click on that, and then it shows Dogfight auditions. You go ahead and click on that. It takes you to the audition page, and then you just go through everything that it asks you to do. You submit your video, list all your conflicts, all that kind of stuff. So, Josh, the people who are watching right now, who will be watching, after this is all done live, why should they come and audition for the show? Like, what are you looking for?
One of the main reasons I think is, it's a chance to perform, and we don't have very many of those right now. Elm Street has the blessing of having such a large space where we can spread people out and have the ability to try to put on a production. But basically, I do believe it's on the website. But basically, you're just required to sing a song for me. That's it. It's not hard. Something in the style of the show, something contemporary. Just sing real pretty and act it out as much as possible. Because that's I could have made you also do a monologue, but I'm like, I can see you act in the song. So just give it all you got, sing pretty, and that's about it.
Right? Awesome. Well, yeah, so I hope that you will be able to join us for auditions, those of you who are watching right now. If you're eligible to, again, so this production, we have not rated R, but it's recommended for ages 18 and up just due to the content in it, as it has some pretty strong language and some heavy themes, obviously relating to PTSD and things like that. So with that being said, it is not something your 8-year-old can audition for. Unfortunately, we do not have a role for you. As much as we would love for you to audition, we will have other auditions for you to take part of. So 18 and up, please, for those. Josh, before we hop off, is there anything else that you want to add about the show, about auditioning? Any final last words?
I hope you come out and audition, and I hope you come see this show. It's going to be, and I know, I just want to point this out because it sounds very sad from all we've been saying. It's also a very funny show, so don't think you're just going to come out and be sad the whole time. So come see it. We're going to have a good time.
Yeah. So again, please come out and audition for Dogfight. You've got those auditions through not next Monday, but the Monday after. And then the show opens the beginning of October. It runs for 3 weeks. And we hope to see you there. You'll laugh, you'll cry, you'll do it all. So, Josh, I want to thank you again for taking part in this interview and taking the time to just chat with me a little bit. It's been really nice getting to know you a little bit better, and also give a little Reba trivia as well.
Yeah, thanks, Justin.
All right, everyone. Thank you again for watching. We will see you later. Until then, please stay safe, stay healthy, stay sane, and we will see you soon.